Hello, friends. Welcome to Antichess Law. And today we have a very interesting topic to cover, cheating. One of the most villainous things you might ever witness, no matter whether it's in society, in any game. But today we're going to talk just about cheating in chess. Why do people do it? And what are the consequences? So I have my special guest here, Kellogg's. Welcome.
Hello, everyone.
So just to begin with, got this little shot of social media, and someone's asked, I lied to her that I can play chess. Now she wants to play me online. How do I learn chess in 30 minutes? Well, sad news for you, my friend. You can't learn it in 30 minutes, but someone responds, make her use white, open another chess app as white, play her moves, and reply with whatever the computer plays. This shit is too easy. So a bit of humor, but is cheating really that easy? Well, we're gonna kind of look at that. It's gonna be answering yes and no. Um, it sure is maybe that easy to just do the moves, but of course, you must know that internet sites will catch you. They have all these mechanisms to detect cheating. But first of all, uh, let's talk to Richard about why people cheat. Now, Richard, is it about just someone having a big ego? Maybe they just want the glory and recognition of others. What are your thoughts on why people do it?
I suppose it's a little bit of everything. But when you go to the basics, it's all about dopamine. So you are in a position where, things aren't going very well. Let's say you struggle each game and people that are stronger than you beat you consistently, and the frustration starts to build up. Everybody's looking for success and getting rewarded, that is immediately linked with dopamine.
I was going to say, yeah, I mean, you have people who are compulsive gamblers, for example, and it's that thrill of the win that keeps them coming back and dumping all their money away. So, yeah, it can be, really it can be a predictor of addiction for sure. Um, so in terms of chess, though, let's sort of talk about why do people cheat at chess? I mean, apart from impressing the girlfriends, um, I feel like the space in online cheating, this has been around ever since the internet began. So even when I was first on the internet, people were accused of cheating. They could use computers to play moves back, but they'd inevitably be caught because, even the software and the sites have these methods of knowing if you're maybe changing some windows, if you're maybe taking a certain amount of time to move, maybe your certain moves are too good. But rest assured that cheaters are nearly always caught. It may just take a different method. Um, and also, it's about the damage these things can do. Some people that cheat, they might think, oh, well, it's a very selfish thing. It's just about getting the win. They don't care about the other person on the other side of the screen or even about, the rest of the community and what this is actually doing. Some people might have actually quit the game because they're just tired of losing to cheaters. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think chess.com really has the issue here. The chess.com moderation is a bit weaker, I would say, compared to Lichess. And yeah, I myself am not a fan of chess.com for this reason, as I see a lot of cheating in Antichess. They call it giveaway, by the way, on chess.com. And therefore I am not that active because I meet them more often than not, and then I decide to yeah, just run back to Lichess as moderation is definitely better there.
I think maybe Vladimir Kramnik might agree with you. He's
Yeah,
certainly accused
yeah.
a lot of people of cheating. Now whether that's true or not, well, that's a whole nother story. I mean, what you don't want is the opposite too. Just being a bad sport, you're losing games, and oh, yeah, they're all cheats. You're all cheats. But if you really think someone is cheating because of certain reasons, you can report these people to admins and they will decide. And they will fine people and ban them for doing it. So if people know they can get caught, or why do they still do it? So we've talked about dopamine, talked about kind of adoration, ego. Um, is it just also because they think they can get away with it, or is it just deeper than that?
Yeah, well, I think for one, it's also the thrill of not getting caught.
This is a very common thing in people in romantic relationships that cheat, and sometimes
Yeah,
it's for
definitely.
that very reason. It's a thrill. It's a thrill of doing something naughty that you're not supposed to do.
Yeah, so definitely.
Right. Now let's talk a bit more about the effects because, like I said, there were consequences of cheating, and there was one case recently. I won't mention the player themselves, but this caused a massive division in the community. This player, because of the, I suppose, the scale of what was going on, and the stakes were very high because this player had made the almost the semi-final sort of stage of a world championship event, and there were suspicions about cheating for maybe some weeks leading up to this. But Richard, tell us a bit more about, how this not doesn't just affect one opponent, but when the stakes are high.
Yeah, I witnessed it myself, what it damaged, how it damaged the community and other people. And that's what I want to emphasize. You will eventually get caught and you think, okay, history is history, and be done with it. But the thing is that it really feeds suspicion and hatred within a community towards each other. Because, well, like Kramnik, you just start to distrust everything. You think you are very good at a variant, and then oh, you have no chance at all beating a player, and then you get so frequently caught up in games where people are actually cheating that people can't judge very well what is going on when it comes to if a player is cheating or not. But on top of that, what I see on the socials is how a cheating scandal, how it affects everyone, and um, how it just ruins the ambience for everyone and ruins the joy of the game in general. And therefore, you shouldn't cheat.
Yeah, I think that's the worst part, just how people can literally just start quitting the game and going, well, okay, if people are going to cheat, what's the point? And they start saying, what's the point of even doing it? And the good thing is you have more like live chess events, but for variants and anti-chess, atomic, etc., there's very few. We rely on online play, and recently, the atomic world champion was caught cheating, so it can happen at the highest level. And the other thing I kind of wanted to make a point of was some people wonder, is it just weak players that cheat? And like, no, rating doesn't seem to be an indicator. It depends on the ego of the person and what they think they deserve to have. So we can still see this even at the very top level.
Yeah, I think in that regard, you could look at cheaters for each case as a separate one. I think there is a lot of factors that can make people decide to do things. Being it, oh, I had a horrible childhood, so I am looking for greatness. I'm destined for greatness, or I am just an asshole, and I don't care, and I just want to watch the world burn, something like that. It's hard to pinpoint what are the exact causes.
Oh yeah, there's multiple, I'm sure, for different reasons. Yeah, that idea of deserving something and just the chaos and all that. But yeah, this might lead us on to, the next topic. And Richard actually has a more personal story to tell us. And this involves something that happened many years ago. Uh, but you were actually one of these people once. You were embroiled in this controversy. And can you tell us what happened and why?
Yeah, well, it started back in 2017. I came new to the lead chess scene, and I was immediately caught by the anti-chess variant. was introduced to that game back in 2011 and then never played anymore. And I thought, I really enjoyed that, so I wanted to try it. And I was, I suppose, moderately decent at the game. I quite quickly got I developed my playing skill, and I got from 1500 and in little time I got to 1700, 1800. But that was when the struggle came. Like, I couldn't understand why I couldn't improve more. And this took, I stayed at this level for about 2000 games. And that is what, when things start to happen in your brain, like you feel, I don't know the exact word, you feel powerless
Mm.
to become better. And you see all these figures like a Change Opening and Pepsi in Gaming. They were really active in the community at the time. And as soon as an arena started, everybody, the key figures of the community greeted each other, and like they were, well, I suppose admiring each other is how I felt that way. Like they were admired for who they were, and I was just a nobody within the community. And that made me think, like, can I also become someone that people admire? Can I also become um, part of this community? Well, for me, the answer lies the quickest way to success was cheating, and
Mm.
well. I have to be honest here, it worked. I got better quite fast, but not that fast that it became suspicious. And that's when the dopamine, what I was talking about earlier, when it started rolling in my head, when I started feeling better doing so. People start commenting, "Oh, you played really well that game, very good." And
Mm.
then there was people showing up in my inbox, "Hey, can you teach me how to play good anti-chess?" And that's all what feeded the machine, the engine, quite literally, on just becoming quickly better with the use of an extensive software.
And I suppose the difference is for you. I mean, you kind of were more of a clever cheater because if you weren't so good, you would have been caught immediately. But I guess there are more subtle things to it where you maybe don't play so well some games or don't do it all the time, etc.
Yeah, there is a large portion of cheaters. Well, I hope it's a small portion, but let's keep that a topic. Let's say it's a very small portion. There are indeed clever cheaters, people that know their way around with the engine. And the thing is, if you want to copy a move from an external software playing the moves for you, it takes time. And that immediately shows when you're analyzing a game. So each move, being it difficult or easy, takes about the same time. And that is one of the things that you get caught very easy.
So
But
speaking of that, yeah, what happened and how were you caught in the end?
well, the thing was, I became a very greedy. Uh, you know, um, at some point, being 2200 rating feels normal. At some point, 2300 rating feels normal. At some point, 2400, etc., feels normal. Um, and I suppose at that point, you become sloppy and um, yeah, saying I didn't care anymore, probably not the right wording, but. Um, What exactly happened is that I cheated actually. Or no, what happened is that during the World Championship of Antichess, um, I was caught out by a different player. I'm not going to mention his name, and that really triggered me because I hopelessly lost my match in the Antichess World Championship, and he starts saying some not so nice things about me, and that really triggered me to I'm going to show you that I am really good. And what really just happened there, that I went well, kind of megalomaniac, and just became really careless. And then it became pretty obvious that I was using engine assistance to increase my rating. And that was when I was caught back in 2020 as the player called Forget Not. Yeah.
Mm. So after this time, you know, you're caught, you're busted. it's kind of over. It must have been quite shameful. But then, of course, you obviously decided enough's enough. Not going to cheat anymore. I'm going to start playing legitimately. So, how did you turn that around? Because we all know you now as a genuinely great player and streamer and organizer of the Amsterdam live event. So, what was it that turned it around from you that caused you to quit those lazy ways and start achieving things the right way?
Yeah, I suppose it for me it was finding a different way to get dopamine. I didn't really literally think like, oh, I need more dopamine. I'm gonna find it in a different way. But chances arose when I got a message back in 2020 by another player called BBLGL that he wanted to organize an event with Antichess, and that was like for me a dream come true because um, I could give something to the community that could make it grow, that could make that could create memories for everyone uh, and within it, and therefore that really was my cure for um, channeling the right ideas along with feeling good, so to
Mm,
speak. And therefore, I didn't cheat anymore, and I just wanted to, uh, be a valuable member to the community.
mm. All right,
And
that's very.
and everything that happened after is pretty much history.
All right. So it's very commendable you're able to, face that past and overcome that and do the right thing and hopefully, yeah, a lesson for others to and do this video as well. And then you've also got a game to show us, and this is a game you actually played kind of using the engine, and you're
Yes.
going to sort of take us through it. So perhaps you could share your screen, and we'll look at the analysis of Kellogg's game or the game is Forget Not as it was.
All right. So, yeah, well, first things to point out, this is a game from the weekly Anti-Chess Arena 5 years ago, where I played against Change Opening, a very strong anti-chess player. At that time, I would definitely comment that he was the strongest active player at that time. When he was the white pieces, he was pretty much impossible to beat. Well, unless you were using an engine, and we're gonna see that in the game. Another thing I'd like to point out: look how if you analyze the game and look at the move times, it doesn't really raise any alarm bells, but I'm going to talk you through this game to why it is a game where an engine was used. And there are a
Because I
few
think
key.
the best players can kind of recognize there are certain moves that just don't make sense to a human player. And it's the same at the top level of chess. There are moves that just you think that's what's the reason behind that? And a computer will play a move because they're like, oh, I can see mate in 12. But a human would play something more, logical. So, yeah.
Yes, yeah, and that's to add on that. This game is 3+0, so any in-depth thinking, yeah, that's pretty much impossible unless you are playing a classical anti-chess game. But that isn't the case here. So we're gonna look at a few key points that I've highlighted, and I'm gonna talk you through it. So we have, Flo's most favorite opening, that is definitely E3, and Forget Not replies with the Polish. We get this line, and then the first thing I want to talk about is here, C4. Well, think what you will about this move. It's losing. It's actually quite tricky to solve it because there's this little intermediate, but given the time control, you might quite easily overlook it. And that what happened. Change opening overlooks this move that he has to play because he immediately goes for c3, a very logical move because then there's the danger that the pawn has to capture a few pieces. Then, of course, you have to promote. And if white manages to position its pieces correctly, then you can't promote to anything without losing the game. Going back to c4, any decent anti-chess player would never play this. Because you can immediately see, definitely in Blitz, you can see the danger of getting stuck in front of the pawn and the danger of capturing the other pieces. And therefore, C4, it actually shows that someone with 2255 rating at this point doesn't know what he's doing. So either this move was done to lower suspicion or, yeah, make what you will of it. It just shows that we have someone here that doesn't understand anti-chess at all. Another thing, and that is where more to the positional beauty of the game, name what you will. I mean, if it's beauty, I don't know. I mean, there's an engine involved, but it's definitely an interesting position. So here we have the move f6. And so Stockfish considers it a blunder, and maybe rightfully so, because there is simply a better move, and you lose like zero point 0.7 of eval in Black's favor. So why play it anyways? And that's because there is a very difficult structure that you can enforce here as Black to win the game. So let's move to the human part of analyzing a game. What you want to do is create space for your pieces, maneuverability, and increase your own board state. So as white, you would most definitely want to move the king. Well, you want to keep this square free as you need, well, these are quite dangerous squares currently for the knight, so you want to maybe move here. So, keeping that in mind, logically, the best moves would be getting the king to either d2 or f2, so that you create space for your own rook. Because currently, you can't move the rook anywhere other than move it back and forth between c1 and a1. And why begs the question, why then play f6 if there's a better move? Well, maybe there isn't, because let's say the logical move of king f2. Okay, you create space for the for your own rook, and you leave space to develop your own knight. But what now happens, and this is what an engine has come up with. I mean, I would never even think of this, but now this structure comes. And let's say a human is on the other side, and what would he do? Definitely in blitz. Well, it's a rule of thumb that in well, late mid game and end game, you definitely don't want a knight on your side of the screen. So this is what's going to happen. You develop the knight and you get a king. Now, what you actually manage to create more space for your rook. You can actually now go here. And you have all these spaces where you can walk to with your own king. So you would say white is fine. But as the eval already shows, it isn't the case. All right, moving on. Change opening made a blunder. He went with knight h3. And knight h3, well, at first it looks like a very logical move. All right, you can drop your knight. I mean, as I just said, having a knight in the endgame is usually not so beneficial. So I would understand change opening here wanting to drop his own knight. What continues here is another weird move, f5. Actually, it isn't a blunder, and I'm going to show you why. And here again, why would a human actually play this? A human would never play this, as with f5, you allow g4 on the board, meaning you have to capture two pieces. So now white has a free move, and as a result, so let's say white does this, and you double down on your own pawns. And also, that is a rule of thumb. Having stacked pawns on the same square, on the same file, that is usually not a good idea. So what happens after is that we go here. And you think now also the bishop is open, but actually this is more than perfect for black as it seems. But like I said, a human, definitely in blitz, would never play this because you have multiple lines to consider, and all these lines take time to analyze. And as we look at the time used for this move, it was just 12 and a half seconds. And in these 12 and a half seconds, you have to consider when you play f5 that this will happen, and then white has a lot of moves to consider as he has a move for free. So in 12 and a half seconds, you would never even consider this move and
No.
play probably something else.
Yep, I certainly would never play that. I'd be, yeah, terrified of wrecking my position there. You need very, very top play to, yeah, ensure that you're are going to be safe there.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, change opening, what I just told you from a human perspective, that's exactly what change opening does. So he takes the advantage, which actually isn't advantage, but that's some deep engine stuff. He does so. He moves his rook out. You capture another piece, and you get your black's bishop comes out. And you think, okay, white's in favor here, but it's actually not the case because when this happens, now it becomes really tricky because actually white's king can't do all that much. Coming forward will result in bishop going here as then the king has to capture, and then you capture the final major piece for white, and white then only has pawns left, and pawns, two pawns left and no major piece to help out. Yeah, it's quite tricky to convert, but this you can I can assure you that this is winning for black. But yeah, it's tricky to solve, but doable. So in this position, what comes after? Yeah, you want the danger of white's position is that these pawns can set up a capture chain, and you have to capture all the pieces of black, and black wins the game. So you want to quickly walk over and convert. Well, that's what change opening does. He walks over and okay, he thinks, all right, I have a lot of space in the bottom part of the screen and I can freely get a king on the board. But this is the beauty. Well, the beauty, I'll leave that up to judge to the viewer. But what the engine actually manages to do here is this position. And look how the bishop, the king here, and the knight here. This allows this king to do anything. And furthermore, with the bishop here, also this allows
It would take a
this king
tremendous
to
amount
move
of
in.
skill to zugzwang two kings, which
Yeah.
is exactly what's
Uh,
been done here. Yes,
Yeah, the, and
there's so many pieces so well coordinated that they're just achieving the exact perfect position.
yeah, and I would say, maybe Magnus Carlsen, if he decides to go no life into anti-chess and would play classical anti-chess, well, maybe someday he might figure it out and could come up with this kind of stuff. But yeah, that's really the stuff of dreams or the stuff of engines in this regard. And yeah, this was too much for change opening. Change opening made this blunder with the idea that capturing here, this is actually double guarded, but I have the move going here and then here, and the game is over. As now black can connect all pieces and win the game. Actually, it's also quite tricky. You need to specifically play knight.
I'm looking, you've got 35
Before.
seconds. Let's see how long it took you to just work all this out or work it out. Let's see.
I took 17.3 seconds. I believe that was done just to lower suspicion. So yeah, that's an amazing game if it were played without an engine, but it was sadly played so.
Yeah, I mean that's the sort of game like you wish anyone could play that well, but it's they're the sort of suspicious things that you can do. But thanks for sharing it. Thanks for sharing your story and the analysis of the old forget not. And hope we do forget not that to learn the lessons from the past. But I guess the final thoughts would be if you do suspect someone of cheating, there are methods of what to do. Don't publicly accuse people of doing it. That's the worst thing you can do. Don't say in the chat, you're a cheater. You'll probably get banned yourself for accusing others. Go through the system, use the reporting system, give your evidence as to why you think, and be sure about it. Yeah, but Some cases are more blatant than others. Uh, if you're looking at the end of a game and it's got zero mistakes, zero blunders, zero everything many times, then it's obvious. The move time is exactly the same, it's obvious. But just like Richard showed us, maybe it can be a little deeper than that. So be vigilant, but don't let cheaters wreck your day as well. Just report them and move on with it and enjoy because it's a very small percentage of people that will try this stuff, and it's really pathetic. And yeah, we just hope that by doing this, we will completely discourage anyone from even thinking about cheating. Just play the game as it is meant to be played.
And I can tell from my own experience, you will get caught eventually.
Yep, it's like any criminal act or anything people think they get away with something. Yeah, just don't do it. All right, well, we'll leave it there. So thank you so much, Richard, once more, for appearing and giving your insights. And I will see you all in the next video.